Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 17 online connected franchise mode game. Week 9 of the Primetime Football League is now underway as the 6-1 Seattle Seahawks go on the road to face the 3-4 San Diego Chargers. The Seahawks start the game off with the ball and with a big pass in the middle to Doug Baldwin. Next play, Wilson under pressure and taken down for a loss of 7 as we run the football. That's going nowhere. That's going to bring up a third down and super long to start things off. Wilson to Lockett, trying to get the first, and he almost does. But almost doesn't count, and they don't move the chains for almost. It's 4th and 1, and we punt the ball in that situation. We could have legally went for it, even though this is a sim league. It's 4th and 1 past midfield. You are allowed to go for it, but I'd rather punt the ball in that situation and rely on our defense that nearly got us a safety. 3rd down and 9 passing, and that's going to be incomplete by Hydrogen. 4th down, this ball is punted, but it's not punted well, and Lockett's going to get it in borderline field goal range for Steven Hauschka and the Seahawks. But we're not thinking field goals, we're thinking touchdowns, obviously, as we hit Jimmy Graham in the flats for a gain of 6. Next play, Wilson in the flats to Escobar, dumping it down early and often. Wilson 4 for 4 passing, pitching it to Niles Davis. Whoop! Oh, Niles Davis trying to get past the last man, does get the first down. Now we're in the red zone. Now we're in the end zone. In the blink of an eye, Tyler Lockett on the touchdown reception. Lockett recently passing Jermaine Kearse as a number 3 wide receiver on the depth chart for the Seahawks, and he's making the most of it, making some big impact plays at that. Rubber ducky is intercepted by Bogle. That pass standing no chance in double coverage as Prosise gets the catch, and just like that, we're back in the red zone trying to make it a 2-possession game, but Wilson is pushed down for a loss of 3 yards, but wide open Prosise. Oh, he literally could have jogged his way in right there. A complete breakdown on the defensive end. Man coverage, but no one manned up on Prosise. And we go up 14-0 to Chargers right now. Even though it's only 14-0, they got to get an answer quickly in this game. Establish something on the offensive end to prove that they're in it to win it, because otherwise this game can get very ugly very quickly. Giving Melvin Gordon touches is definitely a way to get this Chargers offense rolling. Look at Gordon following his blocks and breaking it downfield to 20-10. Sherman trying to strip it, pushing Gordon out of bounds, but not before he takes it all the way to the 2 and into the end zone on the very next play on the TD toss. They do miss the PAT, so it's only 14-6 as Jimmy Graham gets the catch on the sidelines to start the second quarter. Prosise, who just got the touchdown reception with a big run, breaking the tackle and all the way to the 39-yard line. This Seahawks offense is looking deadly right now. Wilson still hasn't missed a pass in this one. He is 9 for 9 with 2 touchdown throws as Blackshear up the middle, getting a good gain to the 22-yard line as he sends the blitz, but we hit Lockett again, and Lockett nearly got his 2nd touchdown early on in this one as we run it up the middle with the fullback dive, but that goes nowhere. 2nd down and goal now. Up high, Doug Baldwin. This team cannot be stopped, at least not by the San Diego Chargers. It's 21-6, and once again the Chargers find themselves in that same exact situation I mentioned before, where pressure's on them to really get something going, because we are basically rocking and rolling right now, getting whatever we want on the offensive end. And meanwhile, these guys are struggling to find something going, and they're not giving the ball to Melvin Gordon, who just got that big run almost for a touchdown. And man, maybe they should have given Gordon a touch, because they throw an interception to Cam Chancellor. That pass is dropped by Doug Baldwin, who just got a TD of his own. Here's Niles Davis on the pitch, but this time the pitch gets blown up for a loss of 2. 3rd down and 12. Wilson looking to pass, looking to keep his hot streak going to Graham, who gets flipped, and that pass is incomplete. So Wilson, who started off 11 for 11, cools off a little bit, and we end up taking a Hauschka field goal, which, I don't feel too bad about the way that offensive drive worked. It's just, that 3rd down play was not too good, but I mean, it's not like we're going to pitch a perfect game or anything like that. At the end of the day, we're up 24-6 right now, and riding our defense that just forced the fumble on the ground and picked up by Earl Thomas. But was it a fumble, or was Melvin Gordon down? There is no booth review, so it looks like they are ruling that a fumble. So we're back in the red zone trying to hit Graham, but that pass is poked away in traffic. 2nd down, Blackshear got some blocks, trying to bully his way to the end zone. Takes it to the 3-yard line. Now 1st and goal. Graham Graham got the catch right there. Looked like a little bit of a dicey throw. Takes it to the 1-yard line. Next play, Russell Wilson, QB sneak, and it's an avalanche right now in San Diego. You don't hear those two words associated, avalanche and San Diego, but right now, this is getting ugly. Earl Thomas, who just got the fumble recovery, now on the interception. There's just so many big plays being made by our players, and absolutely none being made by the San Diego Chargers. Already, that's 3 or 4 first-half interceptions thrown. Here's Jimmy Graham with the catch, and you know, there's just no resistance being shown right now. And as we head into halftime, I don't know the San Diego Chargers are going to make it back out of that halftime locker room, because their pride has to be hit right now as Jimmy Graham gets the catch right before halftime, trying to cap it off with one more TD, trying to run him a Blackshear, but not going to get anything. 8 seconds left. We call our first timeout. 2nd down and goal. Russell Wilson looking, got time, up high. Jimmy Graham, touchdown. It is 38-6 in the first half, and the first half concludes with a sack from Wagner and I believe Frank Clark combining for that one. And this game is just ugly right now. That's the best play for the Chargers offensively all game, besides the Melvin Gordon run. And speaking of him, I don't know why they're not giving Melvin Gordon the ball, because right now this passing game is going nowhere except backward. Richard Sherman with the spectacular interception. And now this red-hot Seattle Seahawks offense takes the field once again, looking and finding Tyler Lockett, who's had some big receptions in this game. Next play, trying to go end zone to Baldwin, and Baldwin makes the catch in traffic. Everything going right. It's a 39-point lead for the Seahawks early in the 3rd quarter. And at this point, the way this game is going, especially if he does not score on this possession, you know, we're just going to have to take our foot off the gas pedal and basically just run the ball and put on the true clock, just out of respect for our opponent. And that's, you know, kind of the way that CFM goes, where you're not supposed to score 100 on someone. You got to show some sort of respect. And Tyler Lockett, not really thinking about respect. He's thinking about touchdowns. But yeah, that's basically the way our game plan is going to go. As much as I think that we can continue passing on this guy and throw for 500 yards and 10 touchdown passes, we got to tone it down a little bit. So we run the ball a couple of times. 3rd down and 14. We are going to try to get the first down in order to chew up some more clock. But unfortunately, a wide receiver ran too good of a route right there. I didn't anticipate him running that good. I actually upgraded his route running before the game, so I guess that's, you know, a little bit unexpected. I mean, that's why you play the games. You got to figure out your player's tendencies. But man, he run a quick out route right there. And then on top of that, I just didn't even come up with the catch. So, you know, we end up putting the ball right there. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing right now. In this game, I really wanted to get something going offensively. I really wanted to pass the ball well in this game. I feel like we've relied a little bit too much on our defense lately. As much as I love the fact that we had the Legion of Boom and those guys can really control the pace of a game and we don't have to do too much to win games, I felt like, you know, we're getting a little bit too complacent. We needed a game like this to really, you know, get us going, to remind us that, yeah, we are a great offensive team, as well as the fact that we have those guys on the defensive end. We have Russell Wilson, we have Doug Baldwin, we have Jimmy Graham. We could really light teams up. So I came into a little bit of a mindset to do that, as CJ Prosise got the first down. And what a juke move. We'll get Prosise breaking tackles. CJ, touchdown. Oh my goodness, what a run. Juking so many charges and then showing us some power as well. And I really was trying to chew up clock, man. I really did not want to run up the score in that situation, but I mean, CJ Prosise was not going to be stopped on that play. What else can I do? So we go 52-6 now. But yeah, back to my point as we, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. We're going to get the ball right back at the 10-yard line. And we're going to run the ball 3 times right here, because I'm skipping plays at this point, because I'm going to run the ball pretty much every single time at this point on. Have true clock on, because I really don't want to rub it in anymore. I really want to get this game over with for him and for me. I'm not trying to get people injured. I'm not in the business of running up the score. So, and I'm sure he really doesn't want to be in this game. So we both got to get this game over as quickly as possible. As Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett's getting some good returns, but unfortunately this one going to be called back due to a, I believe, blocking the back on KJ Wright. But I felt like against the Raiders, you know, we were playing pretty well offensively, but I didn't really have my foot on the gas pedal or anything like that. You know, I was playing really conservative and kind of knocked me out of rhythm a little bit. It almost cost us the game right there. You know, at one point it was a one-possession game late in that 3rd quarter, and we stepped it up, and we had a good drive that got a field goal. But you know, that's when I realized, you know what, we gotta do something offensively, get some momentum going, just have one of these games. Not exactly like this where we're up 51 points. This is a little bit too much, but you know, just get something like that. So as I'm staying true to my word, we're chewing up that clock, running it every single time. I believe there was one passing play to Doug Baldwin ever since I mentioned we're going to chew clock every single time. But besides that, we're really just running the ball every single time, trying to get this game over with. Phillip Rivers going to get sacked on 3rd down and long by Frank Clark. He actually goes for it on 4th down right here and throws an interception to Cam Chancellor. And Cam Chancellor trying to take this to the crib, does not. And that will effectively end the game because we're just going to need a ball right here. He's definitely not gonna call his timeouts. He really has no business calling timeouts right here. We're just gonna need a ball out of respect, and the game right there. Even though we know he easily could get 3 more points for a field goal or something like that, you know, I don't really care to. So we end up getting the W right there. Good game to my opponent. It was definitely an ugly game out there. You just have those every once in a while. Thankfully, we were on the right side of that blowout, getting the victory. CJ Prosise with that spectacular touchdown run. Russell Wilson with 5 touchdown passes. Easily his best game of the season. And that pretty much capped this one off. So now I'll take you guys to the post-game show. We're going to have a little mid-season recap. Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to the Primetime Football League post-game show, recapping everything that's happening around the league as we look at some Week 9 scores, starting off with the Titans and the Chiefs. Close game, the Chiefs just eked that one out. The Cardinals win a shootout against the Detroit Lions. The Cowboys eke out a close game. The Jaguars win against their division rivals. The Jaguars are a pretty big force in this league. The Patriots win big over the Jets. The Eagles actually get blown out by the Redskins right there, which is a little bit of an upset. The Rams just beat the Oakland Raiders in that game. You guys see our big-time blowout. There's also a big-time blowout from the defending Super Bowl champions who are still undefeated, beating the Carolina Panthers. The Steelers win big over their division rivals, and the London Black Knights lose to the Minnesota Vikings. Now we're going to go over and check out some standings. We're over halfway into the season. We just completed Week 9, so the playoff picture is starting to really shape itself out. We start off with the AFC North. One of the few undefeated teams left in this league is the Pittsburgh Steelers. A little bit of a surprise, because the Steelers have never shown this prowess in this CFM. Usually, the AFC North is dominated by the Cleveland Browns. This year, with a new owner, not so much. They have a 500 record and are in big jeopardy of missing the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. As we look at the AFC South, the Titans and Jaguars are in a big-time battle. Whoever doesn't win this division is probably getting a wildcard spot, but whoever does win this division could get a first-round bye. So there is a lot on the line to win this AFC South. The AFC East has one of the other undefeated teams left in this league, the Miami Dolphins at 8-0. Once again, a team that was a fringe playoff team in the AFC for the past 2 years and is really just busting out like gangbusters this year. Also, don't have much competition in this AFC East. Everyone else is around 500 as we go to the AFC West, where the Chiefs are just running away. Last time we checked off on this AFC West, we were waiting for someone to take control of this division. I think we found a team that is ready to take control. The rest of these guys are just lagging back as we go to the NFC North, where it's always nice to see someone with a good record in this division, someone over 500, and that's what the Vikings are at 5-3. We'll see if they can keep it up. The Bears, meanwhile, looks like they're the only team that hasn't won a game yet at 0-8. Never mind. I was about to say they're the only team that hasn't won yet at 0-8. The Panthers also sporting that 0-8 record after just losing to the Falcons, who haven't lost yet. They're the last undefeated team left and the only one in the NFC South, and they're looking pretty primed for a first-round bye. Meanwhile, the rest of these teams trying to fight for some sort of playoff positioning, but it looks like if there's going to be wildcard teams in the NFC, they're going to come from the NFC East or the NFC West, which you guys will see in a second. The Eagles, 6-2. Redskins, 5-3. One of these teams probably making a wildcard spot. Then we go here, the Rams at 5-3, made the wildcard last year, and the Cardinals at 5-4 are looking pretty sporty as well. So, you know, right now, we're trying to get in there, try to get a first round bye. It's going to be a little bit iffy. As you guys know, we lost our one game because we, well, didn't play it. Otherwise, though, looking pretty good this season. We just got to keep it up and hopefully beat out the Eagles and maybe the Falcons to try to get that playoff positioning. So now we're going to go to these stats before we end our little post-game show this week. I think this might be the first time, if not the second time, we've been looking at stats this season. So as we check up on it, you got to keep in mind that some teams haven't had their bye week yet, and also the Steelers, I believe, played an extra game. They played their Week 10 game already. Cam Newton is on the Chicago Bears. I had no idea that was a thing, to be honest. But he's on the Chicago Bears and is one of the league leaders in passing, but not exactly in efficiency. You guys saw he throwing 24 interceptions. We got Joey Tribbiani on the Patriots. Yeah, that's something that's happening. RG3 is the starter on the Houston Texans. A lot of, you know, interesting moves. Drew Brees is on that undefeated Dolphins team. Probably part of the reason why they're undefeated. As we scroll down, you see Russell Wilson. We look at some of the touchdown leaders, passing touchdowns. Connor Cook, who is taking over for Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan did not get re-signed in Atlanta for whatever reason, and Connor Cook is kind of proven why. He's lining it up right now. It's pretty efficient stat line. Marcus Mariota looking good. Russell Wilson up there, also not throwing many interceptions. Who is throwing interceptions? Well, if you've been following this CFM throughout its duration, this is nothing new. Andrew Luck leads the league in interceptions every single year. I have no idea what this guy does. 6 touchdowns and 32 interceptions. This is by far his worst yet. At least he usually puts up a lot of passing yards, but this is just absolutely atrocious as we go to the running game. Now, where is that Isaiah Crowell, the 2-time defending regular season league MVP? Nowhere to be found. The new owner of the Browns not making use of this guy at all. You scroll way down. Where is Crowell? I don't know if he's hurt or something, to be honest. He might be, but nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, the Chiefs, who have really spark-plugged their season, it seems to be running behind Jeremy Langford. Jamal Charles isn't there anymore. Langford is the future. You see Ezekiel Elliott over 1,000 yards already. He's looking absolutely monstrous. Look at these guys' rushing averages. Like, man, these are great there. And then Thomas Rawls, who used to be on our team, he's looking pretty good on the Vikings. Maybe we should re-sign them. I don't know. As we look at the rushing touchdown leaders, a lot of names you see in real life. Bell, Elliott, Freeman, Gurley, Rawls, maybe Henry if we're talking about the future. Yeldon's up there. And then LeGarrette Blount as well for the Patriots. We look at the fumbles real quick. Usually you see a lot of quarterbacks here, but there's actually a couple of halfbacks, including Jeremy Langford, which is pretty odd that he's doing so well, but also fumbling so much. So a little bit of a mixed bag on that front. As we go to some of the reception leaders, Odell Beckham Jr., Gronk, AJ Green, Demaryius Thomas, guys you expect there, and also some of the guys you wouldn't expect there. We got the Rams guy, the guy that used to be known as, I forgot, it was a Kaiser or something like that. Now it's you Booty. He's leading the league in reception yardage, so that's pretty interesting. Odell's up there. Green, Kenny Stills is having a big year for those Miami Dolphins. You got Philip Dorsett on the Bears, that 0-8 team. At least he's getting his, I guess. Falcons got a 6'6" rookie receiver. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, Antonio Brown. Even if he's on like a 1-7 team or whatever that team's record is, the 49ers, still getting his. And this man, Henry Johnson, 6'6", also leading the league in passing touchdowns, which, if you tell by his frame, you can partially see why. And then you see Devontae Parker, young guy having a big season. There's our boy Jimmy Graham. You guys know the Seahawks usually don't get up there and, you know, offensive production. We don't have any dominant guys, but it's usually laying on defense and rely on a team sort of game. As you see some of the offensive linemen who are getting torched. Not really going to spend too much time to do that. We're going to look at defense before we end this episode. You see Quan Alexander, young linebacker for the Buccaneers. Got a couple of years under his belt by now, leading in tackle. A lot of young guys on this list. Shane Ray, Vincent Ray, Kuechly, Buchanan, Benardrick McKinney's on there. CJ Mosley, Deion Jones. So the future of the NFL, very bright when you look at this list. And then you got Olajuwon. Yeah, that's something that's going on. Marcel Darius is up there. There's a lot of the young guys. See Justin Houston, he's kind of repping for the old guys, but not too many of those guys are around right now. Miles Jack, as we look at some of the sack leaders. Danielle Hunter of the Minnesota Vikings with 9 up there. And Sharif Floyd for the Vikings. So you can see why the Vikings are winning their division. They're leaning on a heavy pass rush. Aaron Donald up there. Mike Morgan. Everyone's favorite, like 72 overall outside linebacker for the Seattle Seahawks is up there in sacks again. Dante Fowler, who was terrific last year. I believe led the league last year. Up there again. And then KJ Wright for us. A little bit surprising. You see Khalil Mack. He's a little bit down. Usually Mack's a little bit more up. Not really having one of his best years. You see the interceptions are absolutely nuts this year. I don't know why in the world Jordan Hicks already has 12 interceptions and we're halfway through the season. That is a little bit baffling. And Deion Jones right behind him with 10. And then you got Miles Jack and Byron Jones with 9. I don't really know what people are just throwing blind this year, I guess. I guess Andrew Luck is just padding everyone's numbers. I really don't know. But that'll pretty much do it for this week's episode. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. And I'll catch you guys next time for our next game against the Denver Broncos.